35 awful reasons people weren't hired. According to Reddit, number 35. I'm not a hiring manager, but they did fuck up and hired the guy. I worked for a newspaper, and they hired a new director for my department. About a year after I left the company, the newspaper reporters were writing a story about this guy because he was trying to open a coffee shop. The reporters found out that he had murdered his girlfriend and dumped her body in Lake Michigan. He went to prison for it. The company never did a background check on him. He got fired. Well, bing bong. Sarah Bishop, Jake from State Farm, Candy Stripes, Sedasia, Linda, and Masked Man. Welcome to the stream chat. Kira as well. Is it raining? Oh, it's pouring. I was supposed to mow the lawn today. Oh no. What a world. Oh boy. Welcome to the list. Let's get right underway here. Number 34. Happened earlier this day. Week. That says week, you fucking cuck. Near perfect resume. Guy has quite relevant experience up until about 4 years ago and has been trying to get his own startup off the ground since then. Oh, I feel like the music's too loud. That ought to be better. It's not working out. No big deal. Most startup companies simply don't. So he's looking for another job. Of course, I go on Google to see his startup. It's complete and utter bullshit. He hasn't been trying to get people to invest in the equivalent of, or he has been trying to get people to invest in the equivalent of a perpetual motion machine. Not that, but similarly fanciful concept of another type. No wonder he couldn't get any investment or traction of any other type. So yeah, I passed on the guy. Well, there you go. Well, number 33. A guy got hired at my work when I was in between being contract and permanent, so I never met him. Dude had just left a good teaching job with a quickness and was vague about his reason for leaving for a temporary, lower paying job with less benefits. He was apparently super normal seeming and very nice. Everyone liked him. Some weeks later, he just doesn't come in. We find out that Night Shift was fucking around Googling people and found out that the teacher dude had been arrested for having absolute loads of child porn. The background check hadn't caught it because he hadn't been charged, or maybe convicted, or yet. Obviously, that bit of information zipped around the company almost instantly, and HR fired him immediately. He was in prison, last I heard. Also, one of my girlfriends dated a guy who killed someone outside of the US. He just told potential employers that he couldn't remember his address when he was living abroad, so he's been passing background checks with no problem. So, employees of a large overpriced electronics store, some of you are working with a murderer who did time in an international prison. At least at one point, anyway. Well, there you go. Wow, isn't that just lovely? Wow. Isn't that just wonderful? You know, jeez. So as we continue up this list of 35 awful reasons people weren't hired, we reach number 32. I know this may not be totally relevant here, but there was this time I was screening a tenant application for a room to rent. I had a bad roommate experience before and wanted to make sure I got the right fit for a tenant. I was exchanging emails with this nice lady who was eager to move. I explained to her the process, and that a background check was necessary to be done by our property manager. But I had this weird gut feeling about this lady, so I goggled her name. Oh, ping bong. And made a bunch of arrest records pop up, including domestic disputes. That was a no for me, and I politely declined her application. Well, when those gut feelings turn out to be true, that's what's up, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god. Jacob Gosnell says, Kyle, much fucking love, bro. I appreciate that. A lot of love coming from me to Fat Man, who's probably not here, but maybe he'll end up listening to this. He sent a very expensive Turtle Beach headset my way, and I appreciate the shit out of him for it. And I actually had a really crazy, like, girly reaction when I was taking it out of the box, because he had it gift wrapped too, and I know what the hell this thing was. And not seconds before, bitching about the fact that I didn't have an auxiliary cable because I was using an Apple earbud with my microphone lately, and that was why the video quality, or the audio quality I should say, was suffering, because I couldn't hear myself well. But lo and behold, an auxiliary cable was in the damn box of this new headset that I'll be able to use, when I'm not using this one. So that's amazing. Thanks to Fat Man. Whatever you want, let's make it happen, man. Because Fat Man's also a patron of whom I have to constantly be thanking. You guys are all amazing. Don't stop believing, you know what I mean? Don't stop believing. Number 31. I hired a girl. She interviewed well. Damn, it's really coming down out there. First day, she threw up some red flags, but I figured I was misjudging or misinterpreting. People start missing money, and one of my belongings disappears. Oh shit, the power could go out, is a thought that just occurred to Kyle. Hey, look, if it happens, it happens. Oh man, but I hope that... Let's try and get through this then. Which had never happened prior to her hiring, you motherfucker. She was insulting everyone and making customers uncomfortable, and I wanted to get her gone less than 4 full weeks from her start date, but didn't want to pay unemployment. Finally, I do a search, arrest records in multiple states. Whoa. Involving domestic violence and theft. Ugh. She ended up saying she could just rape one of my barely legal employees, so I fired her for sexual harassment. Lesson learned, check everyone out no matter how well they interview. Yeah, that's what keeps my ass from getting a job. And then I give a thumbs up to the camera. Haha. Thumbs up to the camera. Okay. Number 30. Oh man, this one's big because you keep editing it like a cuck. What's wrong with you? Several years ago, there was a guy who applied to our company. His name sounded way too familiar, and he went to the same school. And we went to the same school, so I looked him up. It turns out he was the campus rapist. Oh yeah, there's like, you guys got a campus mascot, and then you got a rapist too. It's pretty legit. Interesting. He was charged and convicted after luring an 18-year-old woman who wasn't a student to his room, and he raped her. He was in the local news at the time, which was maybe 3 to 4 years before interviewing. He tried to use a shortened version of his name on the application because he has a very distinct, uncommon name. This is probably why I kept thinking I knew him from somewhere. He wasn't hired, but he was hired as a head trainer at a local LA fitness. May the rape continue, baby. But those girls are going to want it consensually. Or maybe they'll be the types of girls where even though it is consensual, they'll like to, do the kind of, rape play, like role play rape play. Is that what you call it, Kyle? That's rude. Well, yeah, some girls are into that. I guess I'm kind of into that. Not too much, just a little bit. That's what she's into. It's all about her. It's all about the lady. What she wants, you know what I mean? Make her happy, that make her me happy. Wow. Somebody said my name in the stream chat. It was Kira. All me and Kyle can be Turtle Beach buddies. Man. Again, thank Fat Man. Fat Man it up. As we continue up this list of 35 awful reasons people weren't hired, we arrive at number 29. Number 20. Ooh. That thunder is not playing outside. I hope you guys can't hear that too well. But number 29 reads, okay, not a hiring manager, But at the time, I was a makeup artist that was flying to New York to work with a photographer. Being able to hear myself in my own fucking microphone, like in the ears, is really great. Right before the trip, communication dropped off completely. He wouldn't respond to Instagram or calls or emails. Well, a few weeks later, I happened to catch his name in the paper. He had been arrested for planning and filming the rape of a toddler. Oh my God. Oh my God, man. It's rarely so black and white, the kid fucking rape. It's blue. What a sick fucking world. What a sick fucking world. Planning and filming the rape of a toddler. Kid rape, take a drink. Oh my God, Stripes. It can't be in every list, bro. It can't be in every list. Let's continue here, man. List of 35 awful reasons people weren't hired. We reach number 28. I noticed on his resume that he claimed to be a graduate of the Yale School of Music. When I asked his thoughts about Woolsey Hall, Yale's main concert hall, and its famous pipe organ prominently on display front and center, he obviously had no idea what I was referring to. He had never heard of Woolsey Hall. God damn, Rain, you ain't playing out there. How the hell am I supposed to go take that gym out there? You see what I'm saying? I'm a real fucking Pokemon trainer. You know, if somebody took the gym like in the dead of the night last night, and I wasn't gonna go stalking through my neighborhood in the middle of the night because this is a neighborhood. And if people saw that, they'd be like, "What's going on out there, Harold?" Number 27. Not Google, but was pretty decent until I ran a background check. So with shit vague like this, I'm going to have to, clarify what the question being asked here is, guys. So the question being asked in this entry of an Ask Reddit list is hiring managers of Reddit. What's your favorite they were perfect until we Googled them story, which is why a lot of them keep going, well, I'm not a hiring manager. I'm totally not a hiring guy. You know what I mean? But, let me just tell you the story anyway. You know what I'm talking about? So everybody's going to be doing that. But now in this last entry, it was just like, you're killing me. He's like not Google per se. So like I'm not a hiring manager and I didn't use Google. I binged the guy, okay, on Bing. Stupid. Naturally, Kyle has condensed the list title to something a little more catchy. 35 awful reasons people didn't get hired. But I'm sure as we proceed up the list, there's going to be people who did end up getting hired or something, just to say fuck you to your whole thing that you're trying to establish, right? Oh my God, Kyle. Number 27, not Google, but was pretty decent until I ran a background check. The guy had multiple misdemeanors for possession, selling, distribution of multiple illegal weapons. My favorite including, yes, you guessed it, a cane sword. A cane sword. I am not specifically familiar with what that is exactly. Ooh, that's classy. It's a sword and a cane, mate. It's a sword and a cane. Do you think that Closer has one of those? Because Closer uses a cane. I can't wait till later when Closer finds this video and then she hears me talking about her when she's not in here. And she's going to be all like, oh my God, that's me. She's going to put her hands down there and she's going to just be like, yeah, say my name, Kyle. Say my name, say my name. Oh my God. You can't say stuff like that, Kyle. It's just rude. Number 26. She seemed great until I took a look at her online. I discovered that her baby daddy had killed a neighbor who had complained about loud noise at their party In an online news article about the killing, she was quoted as saying that the man her baby daddy had killed was asking for it, and the baby daddy shouldn't be in prison for just killing somebody who was so mean to them. He only tapped him once, like it was the victim's fault for dying so easily. I didn't hire her because I can't stand the phrase baby daddy. What the hell is going on in the comment section for this one? I want to see the replies here. Somebody said, to be perfectly honest, I would have stopped looking after the phrase baby daddy. That's just my baby daddy. Boom, 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 boom. Number 25. Dude sent me his resume, but instead of sending it as an attachment, he emailed me a snapshot of his resume he had stored in his photos. And the photos below it was him smoking blunts and drinking 40s with his friends. Smoking blunts, drinking 40s, and smoking the blunt. So, you gonna hire me, interview bitch? Or what? Or what interview bitch? Somebody named Fem and Niketo says, I'm not hearing anything. All I see is YouTube's white circle of death. Oh. Yeah, Kira's just suggesting that you open and close it. Did you try turning it on and off again? That's the way to do it. Megan just said, I just walked in on baby daddy. Well, was he banging another woman? That's why you don't have a baby by people that are unfaithful. She says she just walked in on her baby daddy. I'm just kidding. Oh my God. As we travel up the list of 35 reasons people weren't hired, that's one for each person in the stream right now. 35 people in there. That's kind of weird. Number 24 is where we're reaching. Interesting. I used to manage a group home for developmentally disabled adults. I was in charge of the hiring of the staff that we needed to make the house run properly. I saw a name across my desk that I had to interview, and I instantly looked them up. It turns out this girl that had an obsessive crush on me from years ago, and her social media, she still did. I was in a panic because she was basically stalking everything that I did. What, was she ugly? Ugly girls can't be stalkers. Tell that to Hannah. You see what I'm saying? Because like, it's just fine when they're gorgeous and they're like following you. You're like, oh, that's so great. Anyway, and I really couldn't back out because it was 5 minutes before the interview. She came in and it was so weird. She acted normal. We interviewed in a professional manner and for about 15 minutes showed her around, and I thought, wow, maybe she's done some maturing and just let it go. Then we got to my office. I started with a sentence like, well, it's been a pleasure having you here, and she goes, oh, no, we aren't done yet. You think you can ignore everything like you don't know what's going on? I know where you work now. I know where you live. And I'm going to keep calling. Oh, shit. There was more she was saying along the lines of me telling her to kindly to leave, but a phone call to the police, as well as a restraining order, kept her away from my work and my life. What the fuck? What the fuck? Yo, that's crazy as fuck. Woo. Fem is saying, Kyle, I love you. Love you too, Fem. Whoever you are. I'm not sure I recognize that name as well. But I'm getting on in years. Oh, what an old man you've become when I was a young boy. As we travel up this list, we reach number 23. We were narrowing the group down to 2 to 3 candidates, and we then Google, Facebook, LinkedIn them, and get to one that was in the top 2. Their Facebook was completely open to the public to view everything. Lots of racist, sexist comments, risque photos of them with some slight nudity. Was too bad. Their resume was quite good, just not something we would consider appropriate. Yeah, corny ass jobs. Want you to be like a yes man and a nobody on the internet, and that's a crazy part. Like, not, of course, I'm saying not sexist and racist shit is a bit edgy when you're supposed to work somewhere and not be an asshole. You know what I'm talking about? But a lot of places straight up don't want you to have an identity. They want you to be a yes man. They want you to be the type of person that goes with the flow and is just into whatever everybody else is into. And they look you up online, and what they want to see is have you stayed in school for this amount of time to get some piece of paper? Are you all about whatever dumbass TV show, Game of Thrones episode that you suck in that dick? You know what I'm talking about? And they don't want to see anything pertaining to politics or anything making it clear that you actually have a mind and are capable of some kind of, thought outside of what you're told to do and being able to do that. So you better jump through them hoops, motherfuckers, if you want to keep these corny ass jobs. So as we go up to number 22, we read, "Where I work, they hired a guy who was great at the job and nice and quiet as an employee. His background check took forever to clear for some reason, but it ultimately came back clean. Eventually, he said he needed to take a day off for court, but he just never came back after that day. Upon looking into it, he had been found guilty of sexual misconduct with a minor. Not just one count, but 2 counts. Oh my God, 2 counts. That must have been why it took so long to come back. Well, look, man, if he was having sexual misconduct with a minor, I bet you it didn't take him long to come at all. You know what I'm talking about? That's not funny, Kyle. You can't say shit like that. I run this channel. Fuck you. Fuck you, buddy. I run this channel. Fuck you." They were unsure if it should be reported since it was pending. Sigh. People writing sigh. What year is this? How old are you? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. As we go up the list of 35 awful reasons people weren't hired, we're going to crank it up to fast-paced town because the rain's coming down pretty bad outside, guys. And I like this list to be like a nice place for you to come and unwind in the stream chat. And if you're listening to it after the fact, then I want it to be something that's complete. I don't want this cut off because I'm streaming it and the power could go out. That's lame as fuck, homie. And even though I'm on the laptop and I'm running on a little bit of battery power, if the power goes out and the internet goes out, I'm not going to be able to stream this shit and it's just going to be incomplete. And I'm going to have to hit you with some kind of part 2. That sounds whack. So Kyle, why are you continuing to derail the momentum of the explanation with why you're going to try to go faster instead of just continuing the list? I don't know. I run this channel. You know what I'm talking about? And whether or not I run the channel well is up for debate. Number 21. Had a guy come in to apply for a dump truck job. Seemed okay. Very well spoken, clean cut. Not the type of guy you'd usually see applying for a job doing driver and dump truck. You know what I'm talking about? He told me he had a PhD in psychology. He had his own DWI, addiction counseling business, but his wife divorced him and he lost everything. So I Googled him. He wasn't lying. But the story goes much deeper. It turns out his wife was cheating on him, and when he found out where the boyfriend lived, he snorted almost enough coke to give himself a heart attack and went to his house where his wife's car was parked. He shot 30 rounds from an AR-15 into the house and the car with them inside the house. Somehow he got off with only 6 months in jail and probation. I can post links to the news article if anyone is interested. He didn't get the job. He didn't get the job, but he only got 6 months after pumping a house full of fucking... I'm guessing he didn't kill anybody. B, this nigga must have money to not be in jail after pumping a fucking house full of some lead. You know what I'm talking about? And C, did making himself like, coked up make it so that he didn't have to like face the maximum penalty? You know what I mean? I don't think we know enough about law other than that it's designed to fuck people without money. Do you get what I'm saying? But what I wonder is if the fact that you weren't 100% sober has any kind of bearing on the fact that, like when you go to court, you could just be like, hey, nigga, I smoked a lot of coke. What the fuck? Coke's a hell of a drug. Okay? What do you expect me to do? And then they're just like, he was coked out, guys. He was coked out. He wasn't himself. You're not yourself when you're on coke. You know what I'm talking about? Number 20, motherfuckers. Pre-Google era, but I think it's the fitting question. Family owned a trucking company. Literally everyone in my immediate family has or had a CDL, okay? Mom's turn to take the newbie for a road test pre-hire. During the road test, they were involved in an accident. They were hit while they were stopped. The company was based out of Indiana. The accident happened in Illinois. Newbie gets arrested on the spot. Come to find out that he has warrants and hadn't been out long enough for the background check service we used to get them yet. One of the warrants was for stalking a female dispatcher from the previous trucking company he worked for. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Number 19, somewhat the reverse. I was sharked by a guy who was running his own startup and looking for talent in my specific field. I liked the look of his company. His business model seemed viable, salary was competitive, and he offered equity. I was bored with my current position, so it was tempting. But out of curiosity, I Googled him and his email, and he contacted me through. His name was really common, thinking maybe he's used it to register anywhere else. His startup had no Glassdoor profile. Interesting. I found a bunch of posts of him on a South Africa forum that were really, really racist against black people. He used the N-word at least once and was really aggressive. I declined the offer and linked him what I found that sealed my decision. He responded back saying he'd wish I'd reconsider, that those comments were somebody else. He used his LinkedIn profile for his avatar. Always look up your potential employer, kids. Damn. Somebody else responds, I was on my second interview with a seemingly decent company when I Googled them and found gobs of comments on Glassdoor from a current and former employee who said it was very common for paychecks to be months behind. Some checks just never coming. I was skeptical at first, but kept reading and saw that there were replies from supposedly members of the management team about employees not understanding how hard it is to get a startup stable enough to pay bills every month and still have enough cash to pay the employees. A little research saved me some missed mortgage payments. Shit, that is not what anybody needs in their life, is missed mortgage payments. No. As we travel up, we reach number 18. Forgive me, guys, my nose. As we hit 18 on the list of 35 awful reasons people weren't hired. Am I gonna sneeze? Seems like you'll be alright, mate. Number 18 reads, good resume, former military. We were going to call him in for an interview, but Googled him first. Turns out he was arrested for arms trafficking. The report said he had stolen 2 or 3 small arms as well as a Stinger missile system from the base he was stationed at. What the fuck, mate? The people he set up to sell the stuff to were undercover officers. You idiot. You idiot. Oh my God. Number 17. I wasn't the hiring manager, but I was talking to him about a couple of interviews he had coming up. He said he looked up one guy and found that he'd been arrested previously for various identity/theft credit card fraud crimes. This position involved taking payments from customers, among other things, so obviously this guy would not be hired, but that had to be an awkward interview. Somebody says, why even bother at that point? Honestly, if you're the hiring manager and you know there is no way you'll hire a guy, why not just message him and say thanks but no thanks? Save everybody some time. Oh, save him the hassle. What's going on in the stream chat over here? Oh boy, looks like Kira and Sarah talking it up. Talking it up. Candy Stripe says, what is Mothra? Is that a Godzilla monster? Yes, it is, you youngin'. You little youngster.
Godzilla, what the?
Number 16. I interviewed a girl who seemed nice, and then after passing her off to HR, I looked her up. Her name came up as having been fired from the local PD for possession of, among other things, 150 grams of cocaine. 150 grams of cocaine. I'm surprised that the police department even let her loose. Sounds like that's just like a perk of the job, you know? You can't be PD and just live your life without, that's like firing a police officer for beating up a black guy, you know what I mean? That's what they do. I mean, I'm kidding. You know what I'm talking about? Firing a police officer for trying to get a blowjob from some hot bitch that they pulled over, you know what I mean? That's just a part of the job, you know? That's the benefits of the job. That's like firing a police officer for power tripping on some old man, who doesn't understand the way of the world. He doesn't understand the young people. I'm kidding. What, Sarah Bishop? What? Let's ask Sarah Bishop a question, because she hit us with a sad face. Have you had to give a cop a blowjob, Sarah? Asking for a friend. And now we wait for Sarah's response, ladies and gentlemen. As we go up to number 15, it reads, I was interviewing a much older guy for a similar position to mine. Everything seemed okay, and he was our best candidate. Before moving forward, I did a quick Google search to only find out that he was fired from his previous job because he stole $5,000 worth of computer equipment. My director hired him anyway. Oh. When's somebody gonna hire me? Not to come out there. I'm not going anywhere. But I'll do your stupid reads for you. Trust me, man. You could have me as your own personal narrator on your corny ass project that you're gonna do. You know what you should do? You should do an app. You guys should make an app that's pretty much just gonna jip people out of their money. Probably doesn't even have to do anything. You could probably build an app that just has me going, hello, how was your day? And that'd be it, right? And then we just continue to patch and update the app so it says different stuff like, why are you so sad today? And then people will be like, oh my God, how do you know? How do you know? I'm actually really sad. Fem says, Kyle, you don't remember me because I have never sent a comment before during live chat. God, what is she typing from the past? That was like an hour ago when I was saying I didn't remember Fem. Oh man, some people were watching a really slow stream. That's fine. Number 14. I wasn't the hiring manager, but my teammate was. A candidate came through that he and some of the others interviewed and seemed pretty okay for the job until they checked her out. Turns out she was suing the company. Yes, the one that she applied to the job for. So my teammate ended up not hiring her. Interesting. Let's scroll up. Sarah Bishop says, no, just a butthole finger bang. Bang, bang. Sarah is such a faggot, dude. I really, I don't want to say I used to like Sarah because I really do like Sarah still. But, like, it's interesting to see how, like, Sarah becomes more and more mom-like as the days progress. Because Sarah had kids before, but Sarah's pregnant now. So it seems like the more mom-like she gets, the more annoying she is to me. And not like nuisance annoying, but like just like get the fuck out of my face annoying. You know what I mean? And I would imagine that a lot of what makes me the perfect dad, as far as like, I don't have kids, but like I just fit that dad role. Laughing at my own jokes, turning things that aren't funny because they're not funny. Do you know what I mean? Just stupid shit like that. And she's kind of like the opposite end of that spectrum, where she's just gonna do some really stupid crap. Look at that comment, man. Did you give a cop a blowjob? I asked this girl and she said, nope, just a butthole finger bang, bang, bang. You can just see her saying it and then like emoting with it, and me just like giving her a look like, get the fuck out of here, Sarah Bishop. Get the fuck out of here. Oh my Sarah Bishop. And Sarah's all like, Kyle, I will shoot you in the butt with my thumb. This is a grown lady that's had kids saying this stuff. You know what I'm talking about? As we travel up the list of 35 awful reasons people weren't hired, What would I do without you guys, man? I don't know how the smiles would come otherwise. What the hell? We reach number 13. Oh, that's the best age. Don't go there, Kyle. Don't go there. Not the hiring manager, but I was the intern responsible for checking references and running background at our company, and this was in my first week where I just was Mueller. Why don't I take a breath before these run-on sentences? We can do that, right? Hold on, give me a second here. Not the hiring manager, but I was the intern responsible for checking references and running backgrounds at our company, and this was in my first week where I was just learning how to go about things. The guy did great in the interview, so I got the whole go. Too much air to the brain there. Sorry. This guy did great in his interview, so I got the go ahead to run a background check and call his references. Something popped up in his background, so I had to call the police station to figure out how to get a copy of the police report since whatever happened had just happened. I talked to someone on the phone and gave him his name, who I was, and what I was calling for, and after doing so, whoever I was talking to didn't know how to go about. Oh my god, sorry. If you could feel like I'm about to burp now. Whoever I was talking to didn't know how to go about obtaining the information on her end. She put me on a brief hold, then took a call back number and promised to call me back with some info. Well, it's a good thing neither of us knew what to do because I received a call from the police department less than an hour later, and an officer told me I'm really not supposed to be doing this, but I just wanted to let you know that interview guy had been arrested for carjacking a woman, and that woman works at your company. Oh. Okay. Well, here we go. Number 12. I had a guy apply for an entry-level post with us recently. His CV or resume was okay, so we offered him an interview. Social media seemed okay too. He never turned up for the interview. A couple of weeks later, there was a story about him in the local paper, and it turned out that he was living at the local boarding house and was found in the kitchen one morning totally wasted, wearing nothing but a pair of socks. When a couple of women who also lived there tried to escort him back to his room, he got violent and assaulted them. Interesting. Given the dates stated in the paper, he didn't turn up because he'd been in jail at the time of the interview. His resume has been added to the do not touch with a 10-foot barge pole section of our filing cabinet. Excuse me. Oh boy. I haven't seen the 100 emoji in a while. That's interesting. What kind of emojis do we have going on down here? Let's take a look. Let's see here. What's going on over here? Nature. Oh, these are all pretty gay. Pretty gay emojis. Let's see. Oh, wait, I think I saw the one I want. I think I said, there it is. Oh, yeah. Get out of here, emojis. Get out, go back to the key. There you go. Get out of here. As we reach number 11, it reads, we had a near miss, one senior hire. We were talking about him and how something seemed a little off when we Googled him. It was like he didn't exist at all, and the odd super positive tidbit of information that was always a bit too much of a stretch to be completely believable. I mean, one or two people saying you're the best thing on earth is one thing, but this was like all you got were these sporadic and hyper manic observations. One of the junior members of the team pipes up at this point. She's overheard what we're talking about. Turns out she worked the last two places he's worked, and he's like a locust. He's extremely good at his job, but an absolute nightmare in all other ways. Sexual harassment, bullying, turning up wasted. He has a really niche skill set. There are always more roles than people to fill, so he hops along, bullies everyone out of their role in his team, brings in his entourage to the point where they're almost anyone normal, rage quits because the atmosphere is so toxic. Then when HR tries to step in, he hits them with a constructive dismissal case and drags lawyers in, so there's no paper trail. He said that he's done it at her last job and the one before that. Wow. It's one of those things that once you know, you start to notice stuff. So at events, when somebody mentions this guy's name, half the table would just give each other a look, and the others would have no idea. It's not quite an open secret, but it's definitely on the grapevine, anecdotally, if not formally. Lasting Fame says, holy shit, 5'5" and almost 300 pounds. Goddamn, that's a big meatball. What are you guys talking about, meatballs? That's a big meatball. Number 10, apparently. I was hiring for our late shift. Shifts ending at 2 a.m/3 a.m. and she was willing to work anything and looking for about 25 hours per week. Okay. This was absolutely what the company was looking for. She had mentioned that she was grieving her little boy who had passed 2 weeks ago and needed to do something to occupy her time. If this ends in her killing that boy. She finished her 1 day of a computer training and stopped showing up. Later in the week, she sent me an email stating that she wasn't ready to come back to work like she thought, which was understandable. My assistant manager and I decided to look her up, only to find that she had multiple GoFundMe pages set up for her sob story with different amounts of time that the supposed child had been dead for. Her Facebook was full of selfies and party photos. She ended up asking for the job back a few months later, and we shot her down real quick. What the bitch? Oh my god. Number 9, guys. Hiring private tutors to work with middle school students. Had a great conversation with a girl. She stressed how much she wants to be a role model for young girls. Basically exactly what we were looking for. Then I Googled her, and the first picture on her Facebook was her doing a line of cocaine running around my brain. White lines. Work. Sorry, I apologize. That's very Sarah Bishop of me. No wonder she's in love with Kyle. You know what I mean? I've got to be like the gayest guy as far as some of the stupid shit that I'm always saying. What's going on here in the stream chat? It says that the stream health has degraded, video output low. YouTubers isn't not receiving enough video to maintain. That's weird, because if I go to my settings and check the output, everything's probably going to be fine. As usual. It's never enough for you, is it though, YouTube? Oh, it's never enough for YouTube. Who knows? I'm not going to attack this crap now when it's probably not even my fault as usual. YouTube, you so gay. I bet you think the song is about you. This needs to be resized. So we're going to endeavor to do that very quickly. Let's go ahead and bring that in right there. That seems about right. So if we've got where we need it to be, we can continue along. Forgive the interruption. As we reach number 9, or number 8 rather, on the list of 35 awful reasons people weren't hired, number 8 reads, oh, I've got one. We had hired a new entry-level graphic designer. Let's call him Will. He had talent and a decent portfolio, but there were some strange things right from the beginning. For example, he would always come in wearing expensive suits despite our being a jeans and t-shirt office, and he's having a very low-paid position. We didn't care much about that. No clue how he affords that wardrobe, but that's none of our business. He's a designer, and I guess he likes to look nice. The weirdest thing was that he adamantly refused to accept direct deposit for his paycheck. He wanted a physical check every other week. Strange, but okay. Designers are eccentric sometimes. So one evening, we're all working really late on a project together. We've got some bottles of wine around, some pizza, etc. It's miserably long hours, and we're a good team and having a good time. All of a sudden, Will looks up from his computer and fucking runs as fast as he could out the door. Not a word to any of us, he just dashes out. We all look at each other, try calling him, etc., with no answer. We finish up the project and go home still wondering what happened, and the next day, Will doesn't come to work. He doesn't come in the next day either. We try calling his emergency contact, but they don't get a response there either. So we Google him and see that the FBI have made a press release. Turns out he was arrested about 500 miles from our office a few hours after he ran out. I guess he got a tip that the FBI was onto him and decided to make a run for it. It's the fucking FBI, nigga. Where you gonna go? Turns out that he had been defrauding payroll companies for years to the tune of about $1 million. $1 million. I'm curling my mustache here right now. Oh my God. That's why he didn't want direct deposits for his paycheck. What he didn't know was that we processed our physical checks through the same payroll company as our direct deposit, and they reported his new address to the FBI. Oh no. Poor Will. He was just trying to get his leg up in the game. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, poor Will trying to get his leg up in the game. What's happening in the stream chat? Do you think there's spicy edible lube? Asks Stripes. Oh boy. Sarah Bishop says love next door to Dairy Queen. Well, she probably lives next door to Dairy Queen, so I'm always stocked up. That's not how we spell that. Stalked. Y'all girls are crazy as hell. Cotton candy blizzards in her freezer. Lucky her. Lunar Lad, hello. Chosen one. I hope you're doing well. Let's continue up this list as we arrive at number 7. Candidate listed employment history as Director of Finance for a company that I've never heard of. But there are a lot of fish in my pond, and you can never know them all. Resume looks good, nice and clean, good experience, great discussion, immaculate credentials, except none of it was real. The company was real, and when I checked their filings with the state, it turns out it was the candidate's own company. It had no physical location, and it didn't actually offer any product or service. The phone number went to a cell phone that it was answered by an assistant, who it turns out was the candidate himself. It's like it's run by Cartman or Roger from American Dad. None of the other companies he listed on his resume had any record of him ever working there. Then we Googled the guy himself, and it turns out he was awaiting trial for sexual assault. His plan must have been to dazzle us with his credentials, getting a glowing recommendation from our CEO of the company he worked for. Oh, from the CEO of the company that he worked for, even though it was all him and it was an invention of his imagination, and have us so impressed that we would just hire him without any due diligence. Sad part is, some companies probably going to. Well, there you go. There you go, guys. That's just how it grows sometimes, baby. That's just how it goes. Oh, shit. Hannah sent me a Pokemon Go. A screenshot. Let's go check that out. There's a Lugia near her. She says she can't go fight it. It wouldn't matter, Hannah. Nobody would come to help you. No one would come help. Trust me. Sorry, I was just talking about Pokemon Go. Thing is, man, there's all this hilarious crap going down in Pokemon Go. It's super interesting. You can team up with other people and take down big hardcore raid Pokemon in the gyms, but nobody's playing the game. So when you go out there, there's nobody else out there. You know what I'm talking about? You better be a hot bitch. You better be a topless girl, or really, really tight top wearing girl going, "Oh my gosh, I wish I had somebody to help me on this Pokemon gym. And my name's Misty." You know what I mean? Something like that. As we travel up the list of 35 awful reasons people weren't hired, we reach number 6. What does number 6 say, Kyle? Why don't you let us know? Really nice, clean-cut young man from a nearby college applies in my shop. Sweet, friendly, outgoing, and smart. He was perfect until we Googled him. He had a last name that was the same as a girl I had gone to school with, so I Googled his name, found his Facebook, and discovered that he was actually her little brother. I immediately called my friend, his sister, and said, "Hey, your brother just applied in my shop. I'm gonna hire him." She said, "Sweet, free ice cream." So he was perfect until I Googled him, and then he got even better. He worked for me for 2 years and was a delight. What the fuck kind of entry is this? First, Sarah Bishop's talking about living next door to some kind of corny ass Dairy Queen, and now I gotta put up with some asshole actually making it a happy story? Don't you know this is a kid rape list? Whoa. Candy Stripe says Misty's not hot. She's flat as hell. Well, all the girls who cosplay Misty are nice and busty, and that's good. Cosplay Misty. And that's what you want. You want girls that have like a really nice figure and like a lot going on upstairs to cosplay Misty. This is particularly slutty, but you gotta love what she's got going on upstairs. So let's see. This is a good one. Oh yeah, probably my favorite. Are you kidding me? And the fact that the thaws, it's never gonna get better. It's never gonna get better. Oh my god, I think I love this. Can you go back to the list, Kyle, or how long are you gonna appreciate this? This is really nice. This is really nice, guys. Look at the thighs, though. I'm not a guy that's always like, "Oh, I don't like too much muscle on my women," but that's fine. Here's a little something for the ladies. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm liking that too. It's all about equality. Oh, look how innocent this one looks. Oh, I'm doing Photoshop me, daddy. Nah, go back to this guy. He's got the stuff. He's got the stuff. And explosions apparently follow this guy around. As we continue up the list of 35 awful reasons people weren't hired, we arrive at number 5. At number 5, we arrive at number 5. I share my dad's name. So when you Google my name, you pull up his exploits. Stuff like being arrested for having 7 semi-trucks worth of weed in his driveway. Thanks, Dad. Man, your dad sound like a gangster, motherfucker. 7 semi-trucks worth of weed. What a legacy. And you wonder why your mom was spreading your legs for a OG like that. That's what he got caught with. And what you get caught for is never the most gangster thing you fucking done, son. So imagine what your daddy had going on. You ain't gonna top that. I wish every man in existence, if they're gonna have kids, hopes that they can do some shit that just obliterates any chance that their corny ass kid has of doing something more OG than that. 7 semi-trucks worth of weed. 1 semi-truck worth of weed is crazy. I'm talking about 2, damn, 3, 4. What the fuck? 5. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. We going to jail, nigga. I don't even want to be here. 6? 6? 6, dude? You crazy, man. I'm selling you out. If they catch us, man. 6 is too many. I'm a snitch for a deal. 7? What the fuck? Oh my god. Another Hannah is in the stream chat. Ooh. She couldn't possibly be as curvy as Hannah the original, though. Hello, Hannah, and I hope you're having a great day. I hope everyone's having a great day. Oh boy, 7 semi-trucks. What the fuck? Let's see the comments in here. Somebody said, "This is why I'm glad my parents didn't name me after my grandpa, since my uncle is also named after my grandpa, and my uncle is like a heroin addict and a racist." Well, that's rapist. That's worse. Just a little bit. That's worse. As we travel up to number 4, this kid in his early 20s comes in for a job. He seemed normal enough. I Google him, and he was wanted in another state for stabbing oh my God, he stabbed a dog to death? That's a bit much, dude. Kid rape and animal killing? Brutal animal murder? I should update the thumbnail to a knife and a dog and a baby like, huh? No, that would be nuts. That's not funny, Kyle. Oh, man. That's not funny. That's fucked up. We live in a sick world, guys. Number 3, everything looked good on her resume. She was very professional and enthusiastic in her interview, and just had that thing, that self-starter attitude that made you feel like this girl is going to get shit done. Well, I ran a background check, and literally nothing checked out. She was not actually licensed in her field like she claimed, and she had about a dozen priors for various white-collar crimes. Damn. And none of her work history or references checked out. I guess she was just hoping that her charisma would win us over and that we wouldn't bother checking up on her. It'll work for her somewhere, trust me. She gonna walk through the doors of some place and the charisma's gonna be all like, hey, you're not bad. You know what I'm talking about? I'd love somebody with your amount of gumption working in this office. So I'm gonna open up this door to the bathroom, and whether or not you come in and then, determines whether or not you're gonna get the job or not, This isn't about a background check. It's about that. Number 2. I was a restaurant manager, and the owner hired this guy as a chef without doing basic research, which he did a few times. Anyway, the guy said he was winning several awards and worked with celebrities. Okay. The guy was a total dick to everyone on staff, and I decided to Google him. The first hit is a mugshot for a drug arrest, then more articles, one where he lied about getting a James Beard Award from a previous restaurant that he worked at. A comment about him owing $25,000 or something to his former boss. The only positive restaurant review he had was from 1990. Well, I came in after the weekend to show my boss the stuff when I learned that he was fired the night before for exposing himself to one of the waitresses. Interesting. You want to know the weird part about women? They're not hard to figure out whether or not they're interested in you. So I think the guys who are particularly persistent when it comes to girls that obviously aren't into it are some of the strangest men out there. And I'm not saying that all of them are in the wrong, because there are some women that like to be chiseled away at, who like to play hard to get, essentially, and will do the whole get away from me, but yeah, then they'll bang you, you know what I mean? But I like to think, when a girl's like, hey, I ain't about it, I'm like, all right, I'll find somebody who is, you know what I'm talking about? Because why are you exposing yourself to somebody unless you're damn sure that they trying to see that they about to do something? You know what I'm talking about? Why the fuck would you risk that, dude? That's why most men, no matter how crazily obvious the girl tries to make her signs, you know what I mean, is like, I don't know, you know what I mean? She's jumping on my lap and rubbing on my crotch, and I'm like, this could just be how she says hello. I don't know. You got to play it safe. You got to be sure. I don't know. You're whipping out your junk in front of some bitch, and okay. Oh my God. Guys, as we reach number 1 on the list of 35 awful reasons people weren't hired, I gotta thank my patrons for doing their sexy thing that they always do and making me feel like I'm relevant. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, no, it helps me crank things out in a timely and quick fashion so that, I don't get in trouble because I have them to answer to now. You know what I'm talking about? You guys are the best. You guys are the best. Thank you once again to Fat Man, who really was a lifesaver, sending out that sending out the freaking headset that he bought me that I didn't expect. Like literally as soon as it was put up for me, it was bought. And not only did he kind of, pretty much get this new headset that's wireless, he got me an auxiliary cable which came in the pack, which I could then use with the old one that I'm using right now, which is fucking fantastic. So again, that's what's up. So as we continue to number 1, it reads, I was interviewing a chef for my business. The interview went great and he had an excellent resume. He worked at the shop of the top restaurants in the world, 3 Michelin star type places, even did a short cooking test with some spare ribs and they were incredible. There was some stiff competition though, so eventually we decided to look at everyone's Facebook profiles. One of his old profile pictures was him at Mardi Gras parade dressed as Pikachu with a big dildo strapped on. He got the job. You damn right he got the job, nigga. He got the fucking credentials. You know what I'm saying? It's not a crime, nigga, to have fun. Having fun is not a crime, my nigga. You probably wish that you could have as much fun as being a big fucking Pikachu with a dildo strapped onto you, nigga. Don't let this nigga's personal life intervene with his fucking ability to do his freaking job. Some people work hard and they play hard. You know what I'm talking about? And they deserve that shit. So don't let anybody ever try to make it so that you can't live your life and do the things that you want to do, because that's not what they're about and that's not how they would get down. You know what I mean? Everybody got to have the same hobbies. Everybody got to have the same outlets. Oh, this shit works for me, so why doesn't it work for you? You can't just do the things that you're doing. Here's what I do and it works for me, so it must work for you because we're all the same people. Fuck you, you stupid, ignorant bitch. How long you been living on this planet confusing yourself into thinking that, you know what I mean? This deluded fucking mentality that you share is something that's just going to be something that easily is embraced by everyone because it'll definitely work. All people have the same ailment. Do you think that everyone has the same cure? Because you'd be wrong, motherfucker. Just like in medicine, some people have fucking allergies to certain things. They'll have a reaction if you give them the same type of medication that you might be able to give another person for the same issue. So don't let nobody hit you with that bullshit that don't make no damn sense. Stand your ground, and in most cases, all you can do is be quiet. Just let them talk. You know what I mean? Because people think they swear they know more about some shit that's happening to you that they've never been through. You know what I'm talking about? And they have like a puzzle piece to a puzzle that you have, and they think that they know what's really going on. They trying to tell you about the puzzle when you see it and you looking at it, and they going, "No, well, I got this one piece, so let me tell you about that puzzle." Oh Lord, shut the fuck up. I'm so tired of people. That's why we hate people. Oh my God, basic as fuck. Get your ass back to that corny life you live in, talking about other people and living through them. This is why I like little snippets of people that conform to a specific topic. Looks like we have a shower thought here. When smartphones first came out, I looked forward to every phone update because many times they came with new features. Now I just roll my eyes at updates because they're typically the manufacturer's latest innovation for spying on me. But it always was that, buddy. It always was that. Ooh, Mike Tyson saying my belts are garbage compared to the happiness of my kids. That is so great. And I wonder if they're trying to say something about that McGregor and Monkey Ball fight. That's what I think they're trying to do. I think they got something to say about that McGregor and Monkey Ball fight. Somebody said the relevance here is that Mike Tyson's daughter died at age 4 in a treadmill accident in their home. Do you mean like he was running on it and he was training? And something happened and she died? That's so sad. Oh no, that's sad. There's no jokey ass shit that I can fucking end the list on. I think all I can do is call up stripes. That'll be a funny joke. You know what I'm talking about? That's rude, Kyle. You mean. But imagine as like an athlete, you know, as somebody that is somebody that being in shape is kind of like what you do to put food on the table, because it's, you know, your talent essentially is being a bad motherfucker and punching everybody to fuck out. And you're at home training on a treadmill, you just running, and a little kid come out of nowhere. No. That's what I'm saying, man. We need to put a leash on some of these kids. Keep them out of the way. How do you see, essentially the only way to keep some of these kids safe is to constantly be monitoring this kid, but it's impossible to always have eyes on a child, which is why 2-parent households are important, man. You know, 2 moms, 2 dads, what the fuck ever, you know what I mean? Keep an eye on that motherfucking kid. You know how many times I'm watch people die subreddit threads where some kid is running out into the street and getting legit flattened by a motherfucking truck, and it's like, where are your parents, my nigga? Because, like, one, not only did they not teach this kid, and it's very difficult at certain young ages to instill how necessary it is to stay the motherfucker about the street, you know what I mean? But that's why the balance of parenting, as far as like loving and, you know, not threatening, but instilling fear in them when you're being serious about something, is very, very key. Because if they understand that this is something that, you know, even if they don't know or grasp the concept of death, you know, holy shit, that sucks. That sucks. Why is Skyward Revenant saying my name? Kyle? What, you can't hear me? It's you, not me. It's you. Trust me, man. It's you. So guys, that was that list. I hope you guys have a sexy day here. I'll try to Reinhardt put Soldier in jail. I love how buggy Overwatch is. This is my jam. All you gotta do is rocket volley yourself until you're dead, mate. Good, he's doing it. He's figuring out. But the rocket is on cooldown, so he can't kill himself immediately, and he's out of the fight, and it's a competitive match. They still won the match. Or did they? Wow. Oh boy.